Hey, wait till you see my first motorbike. I can guarantee you've never seen anything like that. So stick around. How did you start with dirt bikes? How did you start with the motorbikes? Where are you from? And all that kind of stuff, you know. So today I decided I'll answer all these questions that you guys had. Also, last time I was in this setting, you guys asked me the same question below in the comments, and today I decided to do the same setting. This time I'm gonna have a nice frame in here, engine is back there, so we have a little different decoration here. And I want to talk to you a little bit more about my beginnings, where the passion started and how and all that kind of good stuff. And you better stick around because I think many of you, 99%, never seen bikes that I started on. Since you know, I'm not from America, I'm not from out here, I'm from former Czechoslovakia. I was born in Czech and then I grew up in Slovakia, and we had very different bikes when I was growing up back in the 90s. So you guys will be a little bit surprised maybe when you see my first bikes and what led into my passion for dirt bikes today. Alright, so let's start. As I said, I was born in Czech and then I grew up in Slovakia, former Czechoslovakia. I was born in 20th century. I'm 36 years old, so you can do the math. And my country split in 1993. So I was 10 years old when we split, and then we moved to Slovakia because my parents were from Slovakia even though they live in Czech. So we moved back to Slovakia, and when I was around 10, 11 years old, my oldest brother, Peter, was about 14, 15, and my another brother, Vlado, I'm Rado, he's Vlado, it's pretty cool, right? So he was a year older than me. We were three brothers, three best friends, doing all stuff together. And we got really interested in the bike, especially my oldest brother. And he kept asking our parents to get us a bike. And my mom said once, you're gonna get a bike over my dead body. And the next month, she got us a first bike. So that was pretty cool. And guys, this was a bike that I think nobody on this channel knows what it is. If you know what it is, please comment below and tell me that you know the bike, you've seen it before, and you know what it is. We got it from my mom's uncle, who bought the bike brand new in 1968. He bought it brand new, he rode it for 10, 15 years or 20, and they put it in the garage for like 20 years and didn't touch it. And my mom knew that he had that bike, so she called him and somehow we got the bike home. I'll show you the picture. That was something else. Pig, that was a nickname for the bike. And when you look at it, you know why, why it was like that, right? And also, it looked a little bit like a boat. You know, the tank was above the front wheel, so all the weight was in the front wheel, the tank when you fill your fuel. And then it was made in 1968, but it has electric start, 12-volt battery, and 4-speed. It was 175, 2-stroke, and no reed cage, no power valve, nothing like that. And it was our first bike, and this was the beginning of the passion for two wheels. And we rode that bike for like a year, and back then I was thinking, man, this is like the best bike ever. And we loved that thing, like going first on the gas and getting, wind in your hair. That feeling I would never forget, and it was something amazing. But you couldn't do much with the bike. It was huge, it had no frame. That thing you see, you just put engine in it and that's it. There was no frame, so you pretty much couldn't modify anything on the bike. So we just rode it like that, and it was kind of awkward, but it was a good beginning. It was really cool. And then a couple of years later, we got a little bit older and we started getting into Jawa, Jawa. We call it Java, but in America they call it Java. And we had a bunch of these Javas. So we started on 252 stroke. It was single cylinder 252 stroke, and the bike looked kind of cool stock. But back in those days, it looked old to us. So when we got the bike, we would try to modify it somehow, and I was growing up in 90s, and those days all the choppers culture came from America. We see the Harleys with a long fork, and everybody had like long hair and leather and stuff like that. So we kind of got into that kind of style, and all the three brothers, we grew long hair, and we started to kind of tweak our bikes to make them look more chopper, and like put big fork on it, and change the angle, this and that. So we were working on 2-strokes. But as you know, the 2-stroke does not have a good sound and good, like engine characteristics for a chopper. We wanted to have something that sounds a little more like Harley. But back in those days, there was nothing like that on the market. The communism just kind of finished, and we were like 5 years after the communism finished, and everything was still difficult to get. You could only get Java or CZ or MZ. That was a German bike. I believe it was made in Eastern Germany. And Simpson, there was also it was only 50cc bike that was made in Eastern Germany. Those pretty much all the bikes you could get in my country back in those days. And little by little the Japanese start coming, and first Harley I seen in my country, I was already like 18 years old. It was a long time since we heard about it. You know, it took a long time for the Harley to actually come to my country. So anyway, we had these old bikes like Jawas and CZs, and we were, you know, building them. And none of those bikes had a title or registration, nothing like that. It was like old bikes, and we didn't have a license. We were still riding it on the road, trying to, you know, run from the cops. A couple times it happened, and I think we didn't even wear a helmet. Maybe later on we put some helmet on. It was just kind of a little bit wild, but you know, back in my days, it was okay. Like these days, I don't know, it would look so different. But back in my days, when I was a kid, it was kind of cool. It was okay, you know. Everybody was doing that. It wasn't too weird, right? And then it was like our passion. We did everything, all the free time. I either play sports or I spend my time on the motorbikes. That was pretty much all we did. And my brothers, they did all the wrenching and fixing, and I was the guy, you know, giving them the tools and kind of looking around and just watching what they are doing. I didn't really do much with my hands on the bikes. I was just the one pushing them to do stuff, and I was riding them, but I didn't really fix much. But I always wanted to. But since, you know, all the brothers, they did it, I didn't really have to. So then we wanted to build something really cool. And to do that, we had to get some really cool bikes. And back in those days, Jawa did one or two 4-strokes. And one was 350 OHV that was impossible to get. It was made in like 1940s, and it was very, very unique bike. And I never even seen the bike in real life. And then second one was Jawa 500 OHC, which was also a very unique bike. 500, 2-cylinder. And it was 4-stroke, old school 4-stroke. It has beautiful sound, 4-speed. Yeah, I think it could do like maybe 90 miles an hour back in those days in 1955. So it was something else. You know, it was a beautiful motorbike. And I'm telling you, if I would have gotten this bike in the original condition, I would never touch it. But we got it with already kind of built up in a kind of old school build. It didn't look very good. So when we got it, we decided, all right, this would be the best build we ever did. So we got that bike, 1955 Jawa 500 OHC, and we spent a couple years building it little by little, you know, changing everything. Cut the frame, did the angle, put a big fork. Actually, fork were from a dirt bike. It took me like a year or two to get forks. You couldn't just get fork like that. It wasn't like in America today, you can get anything you want. Back then, the most difficult part was to get stuff, you know. So we got the fork after like 1 year. And you guys, I'm not kidding you, I was praying, and when I was 17 years old, I was praying for the forks because I couldn't find them. And finally, I found forks. So it was an interesting story. Anyway, so we got that forks, we got the we did forward controls. Actually, forward controls were done by one guy who worked in the factory. He had a lot of stainless steel, and he just turned them for us on the machine. But he couldn't bring anything out of the factory, so one by one he was taping it to his foot, and one by one, like it took like a week to bring it out. Piece by piece. It was really crazy. It wasn't like now I go on Amazon or eBay and get what I need. But it was so much more precious back then. It was really amazing when you finally got those things, And then so we built it little by little, and you see the final picture, right? And you can also see me there, a little bit long hair and just looking a little hippie there. But yeah, that was us. That was us like 18 years ago in Slovakia. I was riding with my friends. I'm gonna show you a couple of pictures. I'm gonna show you, we had 3 bikes like that. I had 2 more friends that had exactly the same bike, but they built it in different ways. So we had 3 original choppers. They had really beautiful sound, and we were just cruising the country here and there. And it was fun, And that was till I was like 18, 19, 20 when I was riding this chopper. And then in those years, I got another 2 bikes. There was MZ150 2-stroke. That was I show you a picture also. It was just commuter. It was okay bike to have, go for work or something like that. And then I got a first bike that was something like a dirt bike, like an enduro, and it was 125 2-stroke with the oil pump. I didn't mix the the fuel; it mixed on its own. It was 1987 Gilera Italian bike, 1987 Gilera 125 RTX, I believe. I'll find a picture, I'll put it on the screen. So this was the first bike that kinda looked like a dirt bike. And that was when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. And when I was 21, we sold everything. We sold all the bikes and we started living our adult life. So we moved out of our country and start traveling, doing a little bit some things abroad. And I didn't have any bikes for a long time. And finally, when I settled in California, I had kids. I live here in Southern California, and not having bike for over 10 years. And I see all these guys around me, riding dirt bikes, and I see all these trucks. If you live in California, you guys from SoCal, on Saturday you sit at a Starbucks, right? And there's so many trucks loaded with the dirt bikes. And I was thinking, where everybody goes, and like, it looks so much fun, it looks so cool, all these dirt bikes and everything. So I started checking into it a little bit. I had no clue about motocross, enduro. I never jumped, I never did jump the log or nothing like that. I was on the pavement all the time. Even with the Gilera, I never jumped, never did anything, never rode on the dirt. It was always on the pavement. But it was very interesting, I really liked that. And I didn't have much will to go back on the pavement, getting bike and riding on the pavement. I don't know why, I was over it. And this dirt, it looked very, intriguing to me, very interesting. And I live like 10 minutes from a motocross track, Kauia here, in Enza. And one day I was driving with my son. We were in our old 4Runner, I had 1997 4Runner. I was with my son, and I was like, hey, let's just check this track. We've never been there. And he was 4. This was in 2016. No, 2015. That was early 2015. So we went there, and honestly, guys, I thought that to ride a track like that, you need to be a pro. You need to have like a pro card to be allowed to go there, and you have to pass some tests or something like that, because these guys were like hitting 100-foot jumps, and it was crazy when you watch it from the street. But then I get on the track and I see guys like me, families, moms, dads, kids, daughters, and everybody was riding. And I was looking at it like, that's, anybody can just ride? I didn't know. I mean, I'm not from here, I grew up in Europe. I had no clue that you can just come and you can go. So I went down to a booth and I asked them, hey, what do I need to ride here? And the girl was like, you need bike and helmet and boots, you can go. I was like, do I need any kind of, paperwork? No, it's private land, you don't even need to have registration, just come and have fun. So how much is to get in here? $25. I was like, all right, that's it. So I looked at my son, Timothy was 4 back then, and I said, Timmy, we're gonna sell this car, and you and me are getting dirt bikes. So I went back home, I sold the car for $1,500, and then I bought RM250, and I bought CRF 50 for my boy. And that's how everything started. That was back in 2015. That was my first dirt bike. I can show you some footage. That was my first dirt bike. My son got CRF 50, and we started riding together. He rode for like 6 months, and then he kind of lost interest, so now he's on hold. But he's now bugging me to get another dirt bike. He's 8, he will be 9 soon. So we might get something soon, but I never stopped. When I started in 2015, it just got me, and it was something really amazing. I never had that experience. You get amazing workout when you ride. You get tired. You have to work on your skills. It's not you sit down and cruise like on the chopper. It's nothing like that. It's a sport. You need to have skill. You build your confidence. You build your skill. You go to places you were never able to go before. You jump things, and it just, you guys ride dirt bikes. You know how cool it is, right? So it just opened completely new world for me, and I loved every single thing about dirt bikes. And I already had some knowledge from working on the bikes. Back then I was working on the bikes for 10 years. Yeah, mostly looking at my brothers, but also I learned something like that. So then I start doing things myself, and I've been working on the cars and everything, so I have some mechanical skills. I'm not a mechanic, I'm not like pro or nothing like that, but I have pretty good common sense, and I'm quick learner, so I was able to pick it up quickly and learn some things that I'm able to do. Everything on my bike is not what I need to do. If I need some help, then there's plenty of people now who can guide me, who can point me to a good direction. So they've been pretty cool. And that's how my channel started. I had a dirt bike RM250, then I got RMZ450, then I got YZ125 because I wanted to recruit some of my friends to ride with me, and we start riding together. And I rode for 1 year. I got a little bit better, got a little more confident, learned how to jump, how to catch some air, how to do a little bit of turns. I'm still not great, but I got so much better in 1 year from the beginning when I had like zero experience on dirt. In 1 year I got okay. And then I decided to start dirt and iron because I felt that, you know, I'm as a beginner who learn and who have this passion and love for the sport can share some this sport and, you know, everything around dirt bike from a different perspective. I'm not a guy from the industry. I'm not a guy who's been around for 20 years. I'm not pro. I'm not teaching you, but I'm the guy that every one of you who's watching this, you can become like me in everything I do. You can do the work on the bikes I do. You can do the riding I do. You can have bikes I have. You can afford things that I have on the channel. I have no brand new bikes, nothing like that. So I wanted to create a channel that everybody can relate to and everybody can become like me. You know, that was my hope, that we can create a community where just a bunch of people sharing this passion, you know, enthusiasm and having stuff together. So that's my history, you know, up till today. If I count everything, I had about 20 motorbikes. First I had about around maybe 10 to 15 motorbikes back home in Slovakia. I was a lot of Jawas, 250s, 350s, two strokes. Then I had MZ, Gilera, and Jawa 500, all those bikes. And then here in America, I had maybe like 7, 8 dirt bikes till now. And then I had the BMW, you know, the little bike, FS GS 650, something like that. I had it for a few months. I did a couple of videos and sold it. So yeah, that's that's where I am right now. And I'm telling you, I don't want to stop this because it's been a lot of fun and you know, riding bikes, learning how to get better, you know, motocross and enduro and even like hard enduro and jumping legs and things like that. It's super rewarding. It's giving me a lot of joy and you know, it's a lot of fun to do. So definitely, you know, dirt is something that got me way more than all the choppers and street and everything I had before. So if you guys, you know, are thinking about transition to go on the dirt, and check it out because it's so much better than everything else that I tried. And I might be different, but you know, for me, it's really amazing. So I started riding dirt bike when I was 32 years old, which was like 4 years ago. So today I'm here, and all I know, it all happened in 4 years. So you guys can really easily get to my level and, you know, get much better in everything you do around dirt bikes. So it's really achievable. Just have a little passion, a little enthusiasm, and you can get there. Alright guys, well I guess that's about it for today. Right now I'm gonna put these 4 names of the guys who will be getting stuff from me. And if you see your name on the screen, send me an email, let me know your address, and I'm gonna shipping everything to you, and hopefully you will be getting it very soon. Alright my friends, that's about it for today. Let me know below in the comments how you liked it, when you saw my bikes and everything around it. I really want to hear a lot of feedback from you guys, especially for this video. And don't forget, whatever you do, stay motivated. See you guys later.